Hi, my name is Sugandha Sharan and I'm pursuing Masters in Business Analytics from Nottingham Trent University. Today I'm going to talk about my most important module, that is Transformational Leadership Development. This module has been since day one from when our course started, and today is the time when we have to discuss how this module improved us in developing ourselves personally, professionally, and in maintaining ourselves in future as we go forward in organizations and work. To begin with, I'm going to start with the introduction. So this introduction is going to include the journey at NTU. Since I'm an international student, so in that case, what are the challenges that I faced here when I first arrived in UK? I'm going to talk about what were the qualities that I had in myself and which could have created a problem in the organization in future, and I improved them by using this particular module. So to begin with, I'll start with when I arrived in UK, what was my experience? So I am an introvert person. I used to be an introvert person. So in that case, it was really difficult for me to adapt to a new country, new culture, new diversity. And I was quite nervous in talking to people and to socialize with people. So in that case, this particular module, as I started working on different activities, it helped me a lot. Challenges, I would say the first challenge was interacting with people because due to COVID situation, it was really difficult to talk to people and to engage physically by meeting them. So it was quite difficult. And at the same time, adapting to the new culture was really difficult for me as I was an international student. And you have to, when you are in a new country, you have to manage your personal life, your mental health, your studies, and a lot of things in the beginning. But it was a difficult journey, but then I could manage to work on it. So, talking about the first activity of the module, that is induction passport. This induction passport activity that included different activities that were supposed to be done. So these activities were like six activities that out of which we had to do five activities. Those were compulsory. So the first one was completing the quiz that relating to course handbook. So this basically comprises of what course handbook is all about, so that we can understand in future if we try to access any other module, then in that case we know what this course handbook has, all the details about where to navigate if we are stuck at any point in the module. Then comes the second one, that's pre-arrival employability module. This particular module includes the LinkedIn profile creation, how it should be created according to UK style, how the CV should be created according to UK style, and how we should enhance our skill set. Now, the third one is explore Nottingham activity. This activity, particularly, I could not do in the beginning, but later on, I definitely explored Nottingham, and I'm not mentioned in the activity that I've done it, but definitely have done this activity later on. It was because of the COVID, I was quarantining myself when this activity was supposed to be done. So I'll talk about the fourth activity, that's introduction activity of professional behaviors. In this activity, probably we need to do this module on our own, understanding the professional behavior, how at the organization one should behave. And now talking about the practice essay required for the first academic mentor meeting. This essay was new for me because, in that case, we have to do Harvard referencing style references. It was something very new for me. So I took two sessions from library to understand this. Then comes the last one is test yourself business research. It was how to access library and how to research, do business researches on now by accessing library further. So this was all about induction passport. This actually helped me how I mean, every particular platform works at NTU, how to access now, how to understand the course handbook, and employability module definitely helped me how to work on my skills that I lack, and the LinkedIn. I mean, if we talk about the LinkedIn page, how it should be made according to UK, definitely I've improved a lot in that case. how we should write on emails, how we have to address on emails according to UK. I've learned a lot with this. So this particular activity is respect training. This training I've done is with NTU, and this particular training includes equality, diversity, inclusion, dignity. So these are the certain aspect of an individual, like how one should treat an individual based on, we should not differentiate them based on their ethnicity, color, race, religion, or other parameters. So in this particular training, I got to know certain common terms that I've never heard before, like the difference between hate crime and hate incident. Then how NTU is, they at NTU we respect each other, and there's a zero tolerance for any kind of these crimes. So, like at you, I got to know about different laws, like Equality Act that is followed in UK, and how we respect people of different diversity in terms of like socializing with people or anything of that sort. I got to know about the roles and responsibilities as a respect ambassador. What are the roles and responsibilities um, to stand for some for inequalities that happen, like if there's an harassment or anything that is happening around, then we need to stand for it. So now I'm going to talk about one of the aspects of one of the goals of sustainable development. So it is climate crisis and fair trade. So fair trade is basically like, I never had a knowledge of fair trade. What is it about? As the name suggests, it should be a fair trade between a developed and a developing country, and a fair amount should be paid for the products. So I got to know about different products, why we should buy fair trade products. Like the major product of fair trade is cocoa. Like you must have had it last week probably, but you never know what is the condition that people who are manufacturing it, in what condition they are. So that's why we should buy fair trade products. And I got to know about NTU, how about the policy statements of NTU, and NTU has been awarded the fair trade status that I was unaware of, and definitely I got to know about it. And since then, I started buying fair trade products as well, just to ensure that I am like doing the fair thing for the people who are manufacturing it, who are producing it. And then in uh, this particular week, that was sustainability week, I learned about climate crisis. There are activities that I have not mentioned in the CPD activities on Pebble Pad, but I did those, like carbon footprints, how much carbon dioxide we are indirectly producing in the environment, and we are like decreasing oxygen, that means in that case. So that's bad. In that case, how we should uh, work on our lifestyle and maintain a sustainable life. So here, I got to know about various like fair trade food that is available in our campus shops, at catering outlets, and how we have been committed to campaign for increasing the fair trade consumption in the campus. So this was all about fair trade, and it helped me actually to when I go for buying any clothes or anything, I definitely check the tag that whether it is a part of fair trade or not. So because if it is not fair trade, I mean I feel that I should buy fair trade products. Now talking about this particular CPD activity, that is yoga and workout. This particular activity, that's an ongoing activity, and it actually helped me a lot. So from January 2021, when the lockdown happened, and I was the only one staying in the three-story building, it was really difficult for me to manage everything. I was struggling with my mental health. I couldn't get any kind of assistance, and my friends went to India, and it was really difficult to manage all of this at once. There were assignments, then part-time, and I was undergoing headache and a lot of issues. I consulted doctor as well, but then nobody was able to resolve this issue. And then I started reading, and I thought of trying yoga for the first time. So I started with the videos. By watching videos, I started doing yoga. I started with the basic workouts. In the beginning, it was really difficult. And I read about yoga, like what yoga is about, and I never knew that it was an ancient Indian. It was followed in India, and it's a yoga is a way of life, right? And since the day I have started working on myself, I started giving 1 hour every morning on this routine that I have been following. It has really helped me in focusing on my work and my mental health. And I started writing, reading more. It has helped me a lot. And this is also, I'm going to pursue this forever. Now it's something that's a part of life. I won't say it's an activity. It's a routine of my life now. So it I mean by meditation I was able to concentrate, and these then I joined. I was just doing cardio as well. I couldn't do anything over here in my apartment. I have a machine for cardio, so I used to do cardio over here itself alone in the entire building. It used to be really difficult. And talking about like these physical, mental, spiritual practices, they make you very stronger. So it was quite good for me and very healthy, and I'm also still practicing it. It's an ongoing activity. Okay, so this particular CPD activity is the part-time job that I've done at Boots. So at Boots I've worked as a warehouse operative. I haven't mentioned one of the another part-time job that I was also doing. That was at Marks and Spencer. I've not mentioned it on Pebble Pad because it would be the same activity. So I was continuously doing two part-time jobs. Reason being because Boots was only providing me like 5 hours, and M&S was providing me 12 hours. So as a student, I was eligible for doing 20 hours, and I needed to pay my rent. So it was necessary for me to do two part-time jobs. At M&S, I was working for night shift. At both the places, I've worked as a warehouse operative. It was a new job for me. I had never worked before in this kind of an industry, wherein uh, I saw that how the goods were packed, how everything is supplied, how we segregate different products, and what are the terminologies being used over there for segregating the products. And it was completely new experience for me. And since I was an introvert, so I could communicate with different people, and I started communicating more, and it was useful for me since I started becoming an extrovert. It was I got to know different experiences that people had. They used to share with me. So kind of it was a best experience, I would say, at Boots and M&S, both the places. And I also got to know like how the KPIs are calculated, and also at Marks and Spencer, I got a job as well as data analyst. Recently, I have just got this month, Because of my work that I've been doing as a warehouse operative, they moved me into data analyst role, wherein because socializing helped me in this case because it was an internal job that was there at Marks and Spencer, and I just applied for it. I thought I might get or might not, but then I was scheduled. I mean, they scheduled an interview for me, and I attended that interview, and probably I got selected. And it was through socializing that I got to know about this job opportunity that was internally there in the organization. And definitely, I had maintained those good public relationships with my managers, who actually interviewed me again for the role of data analyst. And as a student, they have kept me over there, and I'm working 20 hours a week as a data analyst now at Max and Spencer. This particular activity, it's a skill set basically. I would say that I've got so many, and it actually helped me. So I got it from LinkedIn Learning. So to begin with, I would like to tell you, like, before coming to UK, I was working as a digital marketer, and I have an experience of like 7 years. And I left my job, and I came here to pursue masters in business analytics. I mean, the best part, I mean, how I came across this skill assessment, it was through my mentor, Preeti, who helped me a lot because I had no clue what to do further in my skill sets, how I need to pursue further. So she has suggested me like to pursue some skill set as well because she said in a job you just don't need your degree, you require other skills as well. And she suggested me a few sites like Coursera, LinkedIn, and she asked me to consult employability team as well to help me improvise my LinkedIn profile and CV. So I did, and I mean, got a feedback, and based on that feedback, I started working on it. So I definitely started learning. So few of the skill sets were already I was aware of it, but I never gave the skill assessment to earn a badge. And I got badges on LinkedIn, like for Google Ads. So definitely, since I was working as a digital marketer, these two particular skill set was already there in me, like Google Ads and Google Analytics. But definitely, I achieved those badges as well on LinkedIn. I didn't do a course because I was already aware of it, but then I could achieve the skill assessment and I was passed in it. Then I like Adobe Photoshop, so I wanted to learn like more. So I learned it on LinkedIn Learning, and then I gave an assessment. I passed in it. Then SQL was something that I wanted to learn. I forgot. I'm a BTech grad, but it's been 7 years I never used it. But I still started it again, and I learned it, and I passed the skill assessment here. So these were the skill sets that I've attained so far. There were two, three that I gave more. I could not pass it. One is Python, another is R, and third one is agile methodologies. I was quite interested in agile methodologies because that is going to definitely be helpful in an organization further. But then I'm still learning and working on R, Python because I've started liking programming languages more, and that's the reason I'm just in the process of learning. And those skill assessments are to be retaken because I could not pass it. So lastly, I'm going to answer all the questions related to UN SDGs, what I've learned so far, and I'm going to answer the competency questions. So, starting with UN SDGs. So, what research have I done to help understand myself? In that case, I've done research. I've read about the different companies like Hewlett Packard, Google, and there are other companies, Coca-Cola companies, for which how they have been following the UN SDGs, checking the targets they have been reducing on the greenhouse gas emissions. Because right now climate is the most important topic and a concern that we all should be concerned about. And reading about their approaches, it's quite helpful because they have reduced the greenhouse gas emissions by 1.5 degree. Then this year I've have gained knowledge about equality as I have attended workshop on equality, diversity and inclusion. That was a respect training that I attended, in which I've learned about the equality acts and how one should respond and how one should treat people equally. One of the goals that I feel that it should be like uh, I mean followed, because as a human at the workplace, also being a female, I've faced a lot of issues, because regarding pay, if it is pay, then we have never been treated equally. Regarding other issues that people face outside, apart from they're mistreated on the basis of ethnicity, race, religion, gender. There are a lot of things and parameters. At every field, there is inequality, and that's what I feel, that equality should be the major thing that should be implemented. Personally, I would suggest. And apart from that, I feel sustainable lifestyle is plays a major role. Like I have implemented in myself, like buying more number of clothes, as I used to be a shopaholic. I used to buy a lot of clothes every now and then. And this particular practice I've stopped when I read about how it impacts the overall environment and the climate. It is not just about the clothes that you buy more and more, but it affects the entire economy as well, and the environment too. Also, uh, as an individual, I would talk about responsible management. Responsible management is each and every person who works in an organization should be responsible for their actions. Apart from professional or personal, every individual is responsible for their actions, because it's not about just the personal life, but it's all about the climate as well, that we are responsible for our actions. Right now, as we can see during the COVID situation, it's very difficult to cope up with the health, and these issues are becoming because of how we have ruined the climate by cutting down trees or doing some kind of actions, and it has impacted us a lot. Coming down to the competency questions, um, as a team, I would like to talk about my past experience as a team, how I have solved a problem. There are different people and different individual in a team when we work. It's really difficult to understand each and every person. But at the same time, there are certain qualities which are common in every individual. And that's how we need to, first of all, be aware of the skill set each individual has in a team, and based on that we should come together and work together. So a situation when this happened was, I still remember, I was stuck in a problem. I was working for Google, and there was a customer to whom I was in call for 4 hours, and it was really difficult to make him understand that a certain issue that he was having, and it was not from our end. Certainly, there were my team members who helped me out in making him understand. Also, nonetheless, he had hearing aid too at the same time, and he was not ready to understand. So, in that case, my overall team helped me with that, because I was extending my shift. Um, so they help me by taking the call, by take passing under them. Then they just cut off that, so that every individual should like help me out, so that I do not have to extend my shift. Um, as a successful manager, I would say there are three characteristics. One is um, being able to understand your peers and helping them out in their growth. And the third one will be mm, decision maker, a better decision maker. Um, mm, I feel that these characteristics I have definitely imbibed in myself with time. It's like I have been working on myself since a long time, and I was working as a project manager in my last company, though as a digital marketing manager and a project manager, because it was a startup. So I have worked on these roles. It used to be a very difficult task to handle developer team, designing team, and I had to discuss this. About this. about the revenue with the clients, it used to be a difficult task because sometimes you cannot convince people and you have to be firm on your decision, and they take it on their sentiments as well, and there are certain issues in that case as well. So I feel that personally I have these characteristics that I told, like being able to understand people, your peers, and then that's it. At last, I would like to thank NTU, Nottingham Trent University, for providing me this particular module. This particular module helped me a lot in improving myself, and thank you to my mentor Preeti, who helped me a lot in working on my skills and further improvising myself. Thanks.